Here we are. Okay, so first of all, just want to say thank you for being willing to do this interview series with me that I'm working on. And just for starters, I just want to know about your spiritual journey and how it's evolved over time. So basically, can you talk with me about what your spiritual journey was like, beginning in your younger days, in your childhood?
Absolutely. Well, thank you, Kiana, for having me on. I really appreciate you taking the time to chat with me. And yeah, I can definitely answer that. So, where do I start? I was raised Catholic, Catholic Christian. So my family was not like super religious, but we had church. I had to go through something called CCD, which is kind of like a school for the church. It was like once a week for like a couple hours on a weeknight. So I kind of grew up with this whole idea of God, from the Catholic philosophy, I guess you could say. And I went through different sacraments like communion, confirmation, those kind of things that involves like the Catholic beliefs. So um, the only thing with that is like I guess that whole like belief system, it's always having God be like outside of you, which I always thought was kind of a little bit odd. Like you have to go and do confession, like confess your sins, which what the Catholic like thing does. They do this. So that's kind of how I was raised. I was raised with like this belief in God being external, and I didn't really question like those beliefs until a couple years ago. So I guess my and that, as a kid too, like as a kid, as a youngster, um, when I was really young, I would pray every night. Actually, I would pray like before bed. When I was like a little kid, I would just pray like that everything would be good in my life and things like that. So I kind of, I guess, was always like I had God in my mind, I guess, my whole life, but I didn't really dive deeper into like questioning the Catholic system and just like kind of questioning the world for myself. That didn't happen until really 2018. So about two and a half years ago was when I really began my spiritual journey, as you could say. Um, so essentially, I have a big long story, but essentially when I was finishing up college, I went to Penn State. So I went to Penn State. It's a really big school in America here. It's like a big college, a lot of like a big party scene, a lot of students go there, big football team, and I had a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun. It was a really great experience for me. And just what happened was like towards the end of my college career, really, it was like 2017, 2018. I saw my lifestyle begin to reflect my choices I was making. Whereas just like all of the partying, like my diet was kind of not so great. I had a lot of like frozen meals and cheap meals and stuff like that. And what happened was basically like my senior year, um, I had a lot of anxiety. I had a lot of anxiety, a lot of depression. I was just feeling off. And what really happened was I had this gut problem. So, like, our gut is very important for our body to function. The gut and the brain are very linked up as far as like our feelings, our emotions, and like having anxiety. It can often come from the gut. Like, the gut is crucial for our nervous system.
Exactly.
So, yeah. So basically, like, long story short, there was one night. It was this is early 2018. One night where I was playing video games with a roommate. We're just like hanging out playing like Fortnite, on the Xbox, just like chilling. A couple beers, like just hanging out, having a good time. Like average college night. And I had just had like some really greasy. I think they were called like pepperoni rolls. They were really greasy, like not, like obviously not good for you, right? Like not good for you at all. I had like four of them, like downed them, and so I guess the food was like being processed in my gut while I was like playing video games, and I had this feeling, this onset of like feeling very lightheaded
Mhm.
while I was playing the video game, and I just like kind of kept playing through it, and it kind of got more and more intense. And next thing I knew, waking up on the ground. I had passed out, like I had fallen out of my chair, passed out, like hit my head on the chair, and my roommate's there, and he was like, dude, like, are you all right? Like, what just happened? And I was just like confused. I was like lost. I was like, I'm not really sure what's going on. I was only out for like 5-10 seconds. Apparently, it wasn't like a long pass out thing, but
Uh,
that was the first time I passed out in my life. And at this point, like I'm 20, I'm 21, 22. I'm 21. So I'm 21. I'm a young kid. I'm pretty active. Like, I go to the gym a lot. I'm like lifting weights, running a lot. Very active person. But I was really like confused. I was scared. I was like, what is going on? Like, I should not be passing out. Like, I should be healthy, right? And I thought I was healthy. So that was an event that really kind of made me aware of my lifestyle, like made me aware of what I was putting in my body as far as my diet and stuff like that. Being at college, being at Penn State, I was really busy. So like busy with schoolwork, exams and stuff. Also, it's just like, I was having fun too. I wanted to enjoy my last year at
yeah.
school. So I really didn't like, so I was kind of, I went to the health place at school at Penn State, the health center there. I told them what happened. I was like, hey, I just passed out. Like my stomach's kind of been upset. I had this thing called leaky gut syndrome, which is
Wow.
it's kind of awkward to talk about because it's like kind of not fun to discuss. But yeah, so like my gut was like leaking, like not like too bad, but like it would just be happening when I would get nervous, or like I would just be like, it just happened kind of sporadically. So I was confused. I was like, what's going on? I went to the health place at school, like the health center there at Penn State. And they ran blood tests on me. They asked me questions. They kind of did their whole thing. And they really gave me no answer. Like they gave me
Mhm.
no real answer. And they were like, yeah, it could be, I'm not sure what they said. They gave me a bunch of reasons, but like they didn't really give me like what was causing this, like what was the
Yeah.
cause of my poor health, because I had also anxiety at the time. I had anxiety, I had like mood swings, and I had like brain fog. I was really just not, I was really not clear as far as my body was I was sick. I had a sick body, I had a sick mind. All connected, body, mind, and soul is all connected. So really like just getting more to the point here. I didn't really have time to like look into my health and to look into holistic health and stuff until I was done school. So I kind of made do that last year in 2018. But really for me, it was like when I graduated school, it was early May 2018. I came back home to my parents' house, and I was like, I had a month before I was working full time in New York City. So I had a month where I was like kind of just chilling. And that month, I just looked really deep into holistic health, looking into my diet. How can I feel better? Like, what's going on with my gut? Why is this happening to me? This is not normal. And that's kind of where like my awakening began. Like my whole spiritual awakening began at that point when I began to look into like holistic health. I came across meditation, in May of 2018. Like that was amazing for me. Like helped me a lot with my anxiety. I began to feel better. I began to feel like lighter, like just feeling better, feeling more good about myself, got more confidence, anxiety went away, slowly but surely. And yeah, ever since then, I've been meditating every single day. Every morning I meditate at least 10 minutes in the morning. And um, I did a lot of research, and I kind of kept going into about the world. I was confused because I was learning about holistic health. I was seeing these things about like diet, about the importance of drinking like clean water, meditation, all these things. And I was like, I went to Penn State for 4 years. Why are we not told this in school? Because
Mhm.
I was feeling so good. I was feeling so healthy, so high vibe, and I was like questioning, like why is this not being told to everybody? Because this is so life changing. you
Mhm.
know? So yeah, I kind of began to be really passionate about like sharing messages on YouTube and stuff. I started making videos in 2018, and I realized that, I wanted to be a coach. I want to help people to go through what I went through, go through like a spiritual awakening, go through, a lot of your beliefs, a lot of your old programming, and really become the person you came here to be. Like become more in alignment with like your soul, with your higher self, and just kind of like really embody that. And that was like 2.5 years ago. So I've kind of made some progress as far as my coaching and stuff since then. But That's kind of like, I guess that's what happened to me that kind of really spurred my awakening. So I hope that answered your question good enough.
Yeah, that definitely answered my question. And I think going off of what you said about like your health issues and, you know, and that experience, how do you now intentionally focus on dieting and, kind of, integrating it into your spiritual journey? Like how, I guess what I'm trying to ask is how do you see dieting and, eating healthy now that you're on this spiritual path in contrast to, the past where, you're still eating, the processed food and, you're still intaking, obviously these harmful foods that I'm pretty sure all of us have done at some point. But, when you're young, especially in the college age, you don't really realize how much of effect it has on you, especially when you're in that environment where it's just constantly, always on the go. So how are you more intentionally focusing on your diet now?
Yeah, it's a really great question, Kiana. I think the biggest thing I always tell people with diet is that we're all unique and we're all different as far as our bodies, as far as our ancestors, like our family bloodlines. I think that's really important when it comes to your diet. So I never say like one diet is the best diet because we're all built differently as far as our genetics, epigenetics, like is, we're kind of always changing and evolving. But the biggest shift I made really was just um, being more in tune with my body. Kind of feeling my body and seeing like is a very powerful tool for us to like being into like I guess for me now, I try and eat healthy, but I just kind of follow like my own body, like what it wants to eat. Like I know some people that are very spiritual, they will like not have any meat ever, like no dairy ever. They'll be really strict, and that's cool. That's cool for you if you want to do that. But like for me, I just kind of go with the flow and just go with what my body's craving at certain times. Um, and the biggest thing that I would say that has helped me a lot is really avoiding toxins. Because there's a lot of toxins in our environment as it is, with the current landscape of things. So no one's perfect, but I really try and buy organic when I can. I try and look for the like the non-GMO stickers on the food. It's really good to have the non-GMO. And just like drinking clean water. Like for me for the last couple of years, for my journey, it's not been so much about like adding new things in and like buying this new thing or this new cure, like these different things. Like no, it's been more so for me. It's been like kind of avoiding what's bad, what's harmful for us. Like avoiding the processed meats if you can, like buy organic meats if you're able to, buy organic fruit, organic vegetables. I think the biggest thing is just eating food that's like eating real food, like trying not to eat as much as the fake food, like the food that's made in the lab. You want to eat food from the environment. That's what I try and do, like food from nature, like food that's going to actually fuel you. um and yeah, I'm really into health because it's helped me so much. It's helped me a lot the last couple of years, just get more energy. What I actually do is kind of different. Is I do intermittent fasting. So basically what that means is that I'm not super like I don't really follow like too crazy, but I just like really, I don't have much food in the morning time, and I try and have like most of my food in like an eating window. So for example, today what is it right now? It's like 11:30. I haven't had food yet today, and I feel amazing. I feel really high vibe. I feel energized. Um, I'll have like most of my food between like like noon and like 6 7 p.m. So and what that does is it gives my body time to recover, because like when we don't have food in us, our body's able to like clean itself out, detox itself. Because like when you have food, like when you eat food and stuff, your body has to process that. It has to work to like break the food down, to kind of like just like break it down and like have it good your body and have it to kind of do its thing. So when you do not have food in you, I find that I have more energy. much more clear. I'm very focused. I'm very kind of in the flow state a lot more, which it works for me. You know, I really enjoy like doing that intermittent fasting. It's not for everybody, I guess, of course, but it's helped me a lot to, I guess, just have more energy. You know, really be more focused, get work done. You know, I'm like a morning person, so I get up pretty. I get up like 5 in the morning in the wintertime here. Like I get up pretty early, just get stuff done. You know, and I really enjoy having the break from food there. So I could be talking about health for like hours here, so I don't want to go on for too much longer. But yeah, you know, I'm really passionate about holistic health. I think holistic health can really help you a lot if you're struggling with like if you want to lose weight, you want to gain muscle, you want to just detox and get more clear, be more energized. I think holistic health is a great thing to research and to really dive into. It's helped me just tremendously.
Well, that's great. That's great to hear. And I love how you mentioned the intermittent fasting. That's something that I also practice also. And I think I'm in that way too. Like it's almost 11:30. I haven't really eaten anything yet either. And I'm still fully energy and I'm still functioning and still getting things done. So yeah, I think you have a very unique approach to health and how you can use it intentionally, to help with your spirituality. And which also leads me to my next question about your coaching. And you mentioned that you're still in that early stage, in that early period of your coaching career. So, as of now, what kind of techniques or approaches do you take to doing spiritual coaching?
Well, actually, I've kind of come a long way because in 2018, basically, I was more focused on like health and mindset coaching.
Mm-hmm.
I coached like some friends, in the beginning, help them with their mindset, like kind of help them with anxiety and things like that, feeling happier, feeling more good about life, those kind of things, and just also health as well, like helping them with their diet and whatnot. Right now, I'm really more of a business coach. So I take all those principles with holistic health, with mindset, spiritual awakening, that kind of stuff, and I kind of combine that with business coaching now. So just going back to like my past at Penn State, I majored in something called actuarial science, which it's a mouthful. It's like a big thing, but basically it's just a lot of statistics, like risk management, a lot of like high level math and like kind of like uh looking at data and like analyzing data and stuff like that. So I have a very like business, I guess, mindset, from Penn State, from college and stuff. So really now, I kind of combine all these things at True Living with my own little like program. So I'm a facilitator here at True Living, and we really believe in like a holistic viewpoint of life, right? So it's like we're not like all business or all health or all mindsets. Like we kind of combine those into one program, and because you can have all the business knowledge in the world, but if your health is suffering, if you're not working out, if you're not eating right for your body type, if you're not drinking enough water, you're gonna see those effects show up in your business.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's important to like kind of have that balance where it's like the balance of lifestyle and business. You want to have that balance there, because if not, one's going to be one's going to be too out of alignment there. So yeah, really, I help entrepreneurs who want to help the world in some way, want to improve the world, whether they're a coach, they're a healer, consultant. We have a system here at True Living where we kind of extrapolate like their end goal and almost like reverse engineer it to their unique skill set, to their gift. So it's a very holistic program essentially, but we kind of like reverse engineer their goals, and we look at what's important to them. People have different goals. Some people value more money, whereas some people value connection, or they value their family, or they value their free time to travel. So everyone's different, of course, but we kind of look at what do you want to achieve, and what are the steps to get there? Like how can we kind of reverse engineer this thing? And that's kind of like what we do. Truly, we kind of help you to like take that goal and kind of like do it reverse, and see like, okay, how can you get there? So that's kind of like what I'm doing now.
Mm.
Yep.
So I I know me personally, I particularly love watching some of your videos, especially when you talk about certain spiritual concepts and those sorts of things. So what is certain topics that you personally enjoy studying or you find the most interesting to you?
Well, thank you for that, Kiana. Yeah, I love a lot of different topics. In 2018, when I kind of was going through my initial spiritual awakening, I was going through a lot. Like I was going through a lot of like old experiences that came up for me, like from when I was younger, even just from like in high school and college. A lot of things came up for me. Um, and it was challenging. It was really challenging at first, going through kind of like my first like shadow work, shadow phase there. But when I kind of came out of that, I got really into law of attraction, which it sounds kind of like woo woo, law of attraction. Like, what is that? It's like a lot of different words that people use for that. But essentially, I think we are all creators here. I think we are all here on this planet, and we're able to create our reality. With our thoughts, with our beliefs, with also our emotions, energy and motion, with our actions. We are very powerful beings, I believe. And I think it's kind of unfortunate, with like the media and like society and like government and stuff. I think we're not really told like who we are and the power we have. You know, a lot of us like go through life, like following other people's goals, whether it's like 9 to 5 job, which is cool. Like I'm not saying it's bad, like
Mhm.
working those kind of jobs, but
Yeah.
I think now on the planet with like technology, like with the whole internet now and stuff, I think it's really possible to like have a career, to have a passion and make it your full-time job. Like it takes a lot of work. It takes like effort and focus and work to do that and stuff. But I think I think when you begin to kind of learn the rules of this game of life on Earth here, it helps you to begin to kind of create your reality from like what you want, not what your parents want, not what your siblings want, um, or like the media wants from you or society, celebrities. It's like, what do you want? Because I think we're all here for a reason, right? And I
Hmm.
think it's cool because I think like as you like align with that mission, as you kind of align with like why you're here, I think things happen easy for you. I think things happen like kind of easier, like more in the flow state. And I think I want to really help people, I guess, like learn these rules of life, how to kind of apply, how to like set more intentions, how to have more energy, how to really like get results in your business, how to have less anxiety and stuff like that. It's kind of all connected. So yeah, I've been on YouTube. I made YouTube videos at first in 2018 for a little while. Then I kind of went over to Instagram and stuff. And yeah, I just love sharing ideas. I love empowering people. I have a podcast now too, which is kind of like my main focus is the podcast because I
Which
just
is
love
great, by
sharing.
the way.
What's that?
It's very great. It's
Thank
great.
you. Thank you so much. Yeah, I really enjoy just like sharing messages and like I want to empower people. I want to empower the world. I know there's a lot of chaos in the world right now. There's a lot of chaos with like the election and COVID and stuff. It's kind of getting hectic, but I think we are still able to like kind of hold the space and be calm in all the chaos. Like we create our own reality. So it's almost like we choose what all that means to us. Like we can choose the meaning of all of the craziness, all of the media and stuff. Like we are the ones who decide what it means for us. And I think humanity's going through a lot. I think there's kind of like a shift happening on the planet right now. People are kind of waking up to their own powers, and it's really cool. I think it's really cool to be here at this time. I think it's really special to be a part of this great awakening. So
Yeah, I definitely agree. But I think with the Great Awakening comes a big responsibility for those who are spreading the messages, which kind of brings me to my next question. You know, people like you who are like putting out content and trying to help spread the truth, but coming off a way of like compassion and not necessarily trying to belittle people for not knowing these things. I want to know like your take on like some problematic aspects of being a part of a spiritual community. Like for instance, like things that I've noticed within the spiritual community is the spread of misinformation and the potential to lead people astray and just kind of using spirituality as a brand or a way of consumerism rather than using it to spread the truth. So, what would be something that, in your personal experiences, you have seen that can potentially be problematic?
Yeah, it's a really good question. Um, I think it's really important to just to like grasp the idea that we all have our own version of what it means to be spiritual.
Mhm.
Like I would say there is no one like rule book where it's like you got to follow this to be spiritual. Like no, I think it's very unique for everybody. Um, so I guess for your question, I would respond with like I think it's really important to tell people to always think for themselves and like use their own discernment, use their own intuition. Um, if you see people that are like sharing stuff where it's like, you must believe this, like this is the truth, like you got to believe this, then I would be careful of those people because you want to always like ask yourself, what's true for me? Like go and meditate on it. If I'm like stuck in life and I have like some kind of like problem in my life or some kind of like thing that's happening to me, I'll go meditate on it and like I'll go within myself and I'll like ask myself these questions like, what is best for me? And I'll see how I feel. I think our feelings um, are very helpful at times. I think our intuition, our feelings, kind of going within. So, like, I think in a sense, um, we are almost like all of us are almost our own teachers. So it's really cool to follow people. Like, I'm glad that people follow me. I'm glad that I have mentors and people that help me a lot too in my life. But I think it's really like a very individual journey where it's like, you can take um, knowledge from teachers and from coaches and stuff and like apply that. But I think when it comes down to it, I think we are our own guides. I'm not sure if you believe in like spirit guides, or you believe in like, people helping you in other realms and stuff. But I think that, I'm always careful when someone's saying like, believe this is true. I'm always a little bit wary of that because I want people to like do their own research and like think for themselves and kind of like find their own answers. So, you can help people get there, but um, I would say just make sure you're always kind of like following your own heart, like your own intuition, because I think your heart knows what's best for you. I think the ego and the head can often like overthink things, kind of get lost in the sauce, but the heart knows. The heart knows what's best for you. And I would say just always like kind of use your own discernment. Intuition is really powerful at this time to follow that, and be like kind of like listening for that, your own inner guidance there.
Yeah, I think that's a very good point. And that's also been like one of my fears too, is that those who are helping with spreading like information, and it's very great stuff that you resonate with, but my fear is that certain people may just potentially, trying to figure the best way to say it, just follow those people, but not necessarily exactly trying to discern like the information for themselves. But as I always say, and you said it well too, it's an individual thing, and it's best to use, the gifts that we have and the power that we have to be able to discern and, you know, make the best decisions for ourselves. And that's actually the beauty of, spirituality, right? Is you is you are giving yourself that power, and to say so is like you are the creator and you can make your own decisions and map out your own path for yourself. But I think the downside of that, and I still have like that mentality of trying to have someone do it for you, which is not like saying of like judgment, but it is something that I noticed. I'm a very empathetic person. I'm an empath. So when I see like people getting led astray, or if I feel like, okay, there's some danger around the corner, like I can't help but be concerned. That's just, the empath in me, like just being like really emotionally connected and being really concerned about, those things. And but on the flip side of that, it is a beautiful thing where we can be able to stand in our true power and hone our crafts, whichever craft or gift that we have, you know, that's the beauty of it. So that's came up with some great points. I think my next question would be, you know, what is certain an aspect of your spiritual journey that you feel that you can do better on, or something that you can improve on? Or are you the kind of person that is like a one day at a time thing and you're not pressuring yourself to, feel like you have to meet some kind of mark or check off, like have like a checklist of things that you need to do?
That's a good question. That's a really good one. I want to add just first off, I'm also an empath. I know I don't always maybe seem like it, but I'm a Pisces moon, so I'm very sensitive as well. The last year, really, I've getting more and more sensitive as time has gone on here. But yeah, so I can relate to you being, kind of feeling people's emotions and kind of like even online, like kind of seeing information. I think we're kind of in like in a sense right now, kind of in like a like more like kind of like an information or like a spiritual kind of battle playing out. We have a lot of like, a lot of lies being said, and it's kind of hard to see what's going on. But yeah, I think discernment is key for that. But back to your question, I guess, what am I going through right now? What I've been like kind of working on as of late is really just like giving myself more like self-love.
That's very important. Very important.
Yeah, because like a lot of us, especially people who have more of like the masculine energy, like I guess more guys, it happens to them a lot. But like people who want to like really achieve things in the world, like want to, work. I met ever since I met Michael Peluso, about a year ago, he's been a really big mentor for me, a really big, like, just helped me so much with what I've been learning. And me and him at True Living have been working together for like the last year. And I've been so working on like building True Living up, like just growing True Living and doing all this like stuff to help it to grow and to help other people as well, like help entrepreneurs and stuff, that I can forget to like put my own self first sometimes, like fill my own cup up first. As far as like technology and stuff, I'm on the computer all day long. Like I'm on here all day long, just typing, doing things on the computer, doing calls, coaching calls and stuff. So what happens is like, I will occasionally get really drained from that. And I'll try and blame like my team or like blame other people, but it's like, no, like Trevor, like it's your fault. Like it's my fault, So I've been kind of like doing more breaks in the day, kind of doing more, kind of just give myself more of like me time. I've been reading more. And I guess what I've been seeing in myself is like, it's really important for us to make sure like us ourselves are already whole and complete. Because, if we're not feeling whole and complete, if we're feeling a lack of love in ourselves, we're going to try and find that from outside. We're going to try and find that person or that addiction, right? That drug or whatever it is, that, video games or sports. We're going to try and find that thing to fill the hole. But the key is like feel whole first, like kind of feel whole as it is, like ourself, like give us that own self-love, and then we'll attract someone or some things that also reflect that. So we'll find that partner who already has that self-love as well. It's kind of like a match there. So I've been just working on myself a lot. Also I've been balancing more of the masculine and feminine energies inside of ourselves, like because we all of us have like masculine and feminine in us. Like we all have both polarities.
Exactly. Yes, it is.
So
That's
the
very
last
true.
month, the last month I've been kind of going deep into that. I've been seeing parts of myself where I've kind of been like, ignoring a part of it and just kind of like going through that kind of work. So I think it's important. I think it's really important to kind of have that balance in us, and then we'll be able to attract that from the outer world to either a partner or whatever it is, like a new job, whatever you want to attract. And just really putting the focus on yourself first, and then kind of watching it unfold as far as creating that in the outer world. So that's kind of what I've been up to as of late.
Yeah, took the words right out of my mouth. I'm also doing that masculine and feminine work too, because I used to have like that. I used to tie it to gender, which I guess that's kind of the biggest stereotype about the study of masculine and feminine energies, is that it kind of coincides with gender, which in all actuality it doesn't necessarily tie to gender. It's a energetic thing. It's a spiritual thing. It's not necessarily a physical thing. So that's something I've been working on too. So I was happy that when you said that. And finally, like I said, I've enjoyed watching your videos and, just hearing your insights on things. But you seem to have a very, very cool library of books. And for someone like me who's currently building on her own bookshelf, what would be some books, either spiritual related, business related? What would be some books that you would recommend to folks who are, in the midst of their journeys?
Yeah, I love books. They've helped me a lot. They've helped me a lot the last couple of years. I have some over here too on my bookshelf. I have 2 bookshelves actually right now, but there's a lot of good books. There's a couple there. I guess one of my all-time favorites I want to mention for sure is Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. It's a popular one, I know, but that one is talking about kind of like how, we create our own reality. And it's like, if we think it, that's the first step. You think it first, then you act on it, and then you watch it manifest. So it's kind of like, that's really empowering. Napoleon Hill is great. Napoleon Hill has some other books as well. I like some of the spiritual books here. I have one. This is a book, Esther and Jerry Hicks, Ask and It Is Given. So there's a great author there. Like the Abraham Hicks books are great. I've read so many books, it's kind of hard to just pick a couple, but like Napoleon Hill, Dr. Joe Dispenza is great as well. He has some great books. There's one from Dr. Joe right here. The Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself is a great one. And yeah, I think books are so helpful because just from my experience, going through school, there's a lot that we're not really told about in school. And like, I want to help change this paradigm. So what are some other ones I have there? I'm a big fan of I like technology too. Like, I'm really into kind of technology and like what's possible as far as like free energy, stuff like that, where like, like Nikola Tesla was like kind of doing stuff with that. There's a lot of people like him who kind of had these inventions where I think there are ways to kind of like get us off like this fossil fuel and this oil and this gas and stuff. And I think there are ways to really like have a whole new paradigm of energy and have us really be free, free from these like taxes and stuff and free from this current system. But yeah, I have this is a good one too as well. This is one from Gary Vee. This is a Gary Vee book, kind of for entrepreneurs and stuff, talking about like self-awareness and also, online space and how to like kind of build a brand up and stuff. But I have a lot of books. I would say, there's a really cool website for the listeners here. A website's called betterworldbooks.com.
Mm-hmm.
So betterworldbooks.com. You can find books that are like really, really cheap. There's like new ones, also used books on there. And you can find books like, there's books on there for like $5, really cheap, really, really cheap books, like free shipping, I think.
Nice.
And, that's a really cool site to get some cheap books. And like, I recommend it a lot. Books have been huge for me. Books, YouTube videos, podcasts, like have helped me a lot in my growth. And I'm always learning more and more things. So, yeah, I have a lot of books. So if anybody has like questions as far as like what kind of book they're looking for, I can probably help them with that. But I have too much to try and like say them all right. Oh, last one. This is a really good one right here. This is a really powerful one right here. This is the last one I'll show you. This is Power versus Force by David Hawkins. He's a doctor, and it has this really cool like scale of consciousness in here. It has this really cool scale where it kind of shows you like different frequencies. It goes from at the bottom, we have more of like the negative ones, like negative ones where it's like lower, like shame, fear, guilt, and you go up, you get more into anger, pride, courage, and up here we have like neutrality, love, joy, peace, enlightenment. So really cool book for the spiritual seeker. This one's awesome. And yeah, I just tell people to always go for what your heart's calling for, like whatever resonates with you. I love books, so I recommend them a lot.
That's great. Well, as we close out on our interview, once again, thank you for joining me on this series that I'm doing. Just as a parting message, what would be a message of positivity and encouragement you would send to folks, especially during this time of just uncertainty and turmoil and, constant fear? What is a message of positivity you would send to everyone?
I think the world is being reborn. I think it's being reborn, and this process involves kind of things breaking down. Like having the old kind of fall away to have room for the new. So I have a really positive view of what's happening in the world. I think, of course, there are some things happening that aren't so great, but I think it's all kind of playing out to help us evolve, as a collective, to help us grow, to help us like go within, to like kind of be our own saviors. Kind of go within and be our own guides. So yeah, I think a lot is in store for us as far as, I think we're gonna have more breakdown. We're gonna have more breakdown, more things happen that might seem negative, but I think like long term, they're helping us to grow, helping us to question things, helping us to like really be our own, like I said, our own guides, our own saviors. I think we're here to save ourselves, right? So yeah, I think it's really cool to be alive at this time on Earth, and I think that we have a lot to look forward to. Really, I think we have a lot to look forward to. We're gonna have, like I said, we're gonna have probably some more breakdown, but I think after that, we'll be able to really, transform the planet. Transform a lot of these old systems. These old government systems, these old media systems, like kind of really just like start new, like start fresh. So, I would encourage anybody, anybody who's watching this who, if you want someone to talk to, like people to talk to, like a community to talk to, we have at True Living, we have a whole group of people who like want to support you. We have a lot of spiritual people in there, very conscious people who want to see you, hit your goals and want to really help you, to evolve, evolve spiritually, evolve your mindset, evolve your business and all that. So I would encourage you, just, check us out on Facebook. We have a group called the True Living Tribe on Facebook. Join the group, just check us out and see if it resonates with you. But yeah, I know, I think we're going to have like, we're going to have like a storm, like we're going to have a lot of chaos, but I think, like I said, after that kind of storm leaves, we're going to be able to really build new things, build new structures, new foundations, and it's going to be fun. So I would just say, buckle up. It's going to be a hell of a ride, but I think, we're all going to make it out in one piece, and we're going to be a lot stronger when it's all said and done. So I hope that's inspiring for people.
Yeah, and as you just said, it's like that old saying goes, sometimes things have to get worse before they get better. That's
Yep.
kind of like what's going on right now. It may seem like it's never ending, but that's pretty much I guess, the nature of life sometimes. And especially in a time where, this way of living, it doesn't last forever. And that's been proven over the course of history. Eras of time, they last for long periods of time, but after a while, they come crashing down. And that's kind of what's going on right now. It's kind of that deconstruction of what we've known as like a society, and things are changing. So that's pretty much, as you say, what's going on is a breakdown. And I think that the more people realize it, I think the less fearful they will be, or the less likely they are to live in fear. So yeah, that is a great point and a great way to close off. So
Awesome.
once again, thank you so much for taking part in the series. I'm looking forward to see how it grows and evolves over time. And yeah, and I hope that everyone will be able to resonate with whatever has been said in this interview and be able to take something and apply it to their own spiritual journey. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Ken. I appreciate you having me on, and I'm looking forward to staying in touch with you and learning more about what you're doing, and watching your channel grow. It's gonna be cool. So thank you.
Thank you. All right. Bye.
See you guys.